Good afternoon, everybody. It's great that you are on time. We have 12 minutes until the official start, 12 seconds, 9 now. My name is Carlyon. Welcome to this SAP workshop. And we're gonna actually take you on a journey of our AI strategy, but also something exciting of how we're gonna deploy AI agents in our solutions. And it's a workshop today. So we're going to give you a crash course learning about SAP AI, our digital system Joule, and our AI agent framework. And I'm not going to do that by myself. I brought a colleague, Richard, from Waldorf from product management, and I brought Mirko, also from product management. So they will give you, in 12 minutes, an understanding about Joule and AI agents. So it's very important that you pay attention what they're going to speak about, because you need their knowledge to bring into practice after they finish presenting. Because we're going to put you to work and start think about how you could apply this in your company. And you're thinking, your company? Well, your company, these are all your colleagues at the table. So look at them. For this hour, you are colleagues, and you need to work together. So, looking at the agenda, Richard's going to kick off, a bit of strategy of SAP, Joule agents, and after Mirko will follow, and then I will take over again, and I will guide you through the workshop process. This workshop process is a bit of a pressure cooker. Will you be able to do this perfectly and think about it in all the time you will have? No. It's just to sort of, set you thinking how these AI agents can benefit your business. And we would love also you guys saying, hey, we need to think more about it, and we would like to engage with SAP on a later stage on this topic. We would also like you, after this little workshop, maybe 1 or 2 tables, if somebody has the courage at the table, to share a bit out, saying, hey, this was the idea on the table for an AI agent for a particular persona. If you have the courage to do that, we also have a little prize for you. Okay. Without further ado, I'm going to get over to Richard.
Thanks.
Yeah.
All right. I hope everyone is doing very well. Let me also introduce myself. Richard, I lead the central product management team for AI at SAP. And so, yeah, super happy to be here, super excited about this workshop. I think that's going to be super fun to see what you guys come up with. But first, you get a little bit of input from us. So let me talk you through a little bit where we stand with AI, what we do at SAP, and then we'll take it from there. All right, let's get started. So first, I'm sure you all are involved with AI in some form. You've already experienced it, you've seen it, and there might be a little bit of doubt for the one or the other in terms of like what now is real about the hype of AI, of generative AI. And you can see here, this is the hype cycle from Gartner. We're really now 2 years into this journey, and there's quite some tremendous development we did, but you can also see how some of the inflated expectations maybe now kind of tapering off, right? And I think that's an exciting development. I don't see that as a negative, I see that as a positive, right? Now we're really getting down to how do we actually bring this into production, how do we leverage all of these productivity gains, because the productivity gains are there, right? And I'll show you in a second kind of where we can see that already today. But I think the important takeaway is maybe what are the challenges that we see in the different companies? Why is it maybe taking a little bit longer than we initially thought to actually bring AI into production? And McKinsey did a great study. They just recently kind of did a big global survey and found that only 13% of the companies actually have implemented multiple generative AI use cases. Well, almost everyone is experimenting, but to bring that into production, there's quite a few challenges, right? And I've listed them here. I mean, this is what we typically see from the customer conversations that we're in. Starting on the left, data and regulation, right? So getting your data into structure, looking at all of the regulations, setting up a team in your company to take care of that. The limitations of foundation models today, right? Foundation models hallucinate, so how do you bring that into your business critical processes? So how do you ground on your business data? How do you make sure it works robust and reliable in your company? And then implementations at scale, right? The rollout of these use cases at scale to your employees, that's typically a huge challenge. And so at SAP, we're addressing exactly these points, right? So the way our strategy is formed around these points. So what we're doing is, we have all of that data sitting in the business applications of SAP, right? We're grounding these models. We're building this all embedded, right? We're grounding the models on the data. We're delivering these cases embedded in the applications. They work out of the box. So the only thing that customers have to do is they need to activate these use cases. And we help, of course, customers also in the journey of actually bringing them into production, rolling them out at scale in their company. So let me show you one case, and we will do a little value calculation here together. So let's assume a company of 40,000 employees, right? Now this company with 40,000 employees, they typically create, 3 goals on average per person, right? Performance goals on a yearly basis, yeah, in the HR processes, so that's 120,000 goals. Now we did some measurements, and typically per goal you take around 15 minutes, right? So writing down basically the goal, iterating with your manager and so on, right? So that is 30,000 hours of manual labor, right, spent in just this goal planning process. Now we ship the case where we are using generative AI to help you create these goals, make them smart, right, iterate over this with generative AI. And we did again some measurements, and we could bring down the time down to 6 minutes. Right? So, of course, you still have to iterate with your managers, you still go through that manual kind of iterative process, but you're using the tool to make it a lot more efficient. So you can see here that's a net gain of 18,000 hours. If you calculate that out with a $30 wage rate, right, that is $500,000, right? That is just one case, and we've shipped, in the last 12 months, we shipped 100 cases into production. So if you do the math now, right, across your applications, you can see how, incrementally with all of these cases, how much productivity you can really leverage in your organization. And now let me show you what that looks like in the system. Okay, so let me play that demo. So what you can see here is you see ChatGPT 4.0, that's the web client, right? And we asked ChatGPT a question about SAP. So we asked it to configure pricing conditions how do I configure pricing conditions in my S/4HANA Public Cloud solution? And you see, it gives you a pretty good answer, right? So at first glance, it looks like, oh, that's a good explanation. Now, if you look into this, some of these steps are hallucinated, right? So it actually doesn't work. If you go through step by step, it doesn't work. Now, we do the same thing with Joule, the copilot that we've integrated into SAP. And what we've done is we've trained it on all of the learning content and best practices and grounded it on all of the configuration data that we have from our SAP systems. And so we asked the same questions, and you can see now Joule is giving you the answers. And of course, this is the correct path, right, of what it's suggesting. And you can see also it's grounded on these learning resources, so you can check for yourself, right? So we're jumping in here. You can see now the learning resources. You can basically browse through for yourself, understand it a little bit better. And what is super cool is you can also now dig into that process. So now we ask, okay, tell me a little bit more about step 5 in this case, right? So how do I do that? And now Joule is really digging in because it has the power of all of this knowledge base, and it's giving you very specific explanations of how you can do a custom logic extension in your S/4HANA system. It even gives you the jump-off point into your S/4HANA system. And so we now jumped into our S/4HANA system here. And now what we're doing is we want to create some ABAP code to generate a new pricing calculation based on a third-party weather API. And so now we asked Joule to generate this ABAP code for me. That's the second capability that we've built. We trained our own ABAP model on all of the ABAP code that we have. And so now it generated me this ABAP code, and you can see how I can just basically copy and paste it over into this custom logic extension from S/4HANA, deploy, and I have a custom extension already running. Right, so super powerful how I can make use of these capabilities in my systems. Now I want to show you a second example, and that is the integration between Joule, our copilot at SAP that we deliver across all of our cloud applications, and the integration with Microsoft Copilot, which I'm sure a lot of you guys have already also tried out. So let me show you what that looks like. So we're working together with Microsoft to integrate both of these copilots so that they can talk to each other and exchange information. So let me run this demo for you again and also show you what that looks like. So here we start with show me the context from my 4 Wheels project team in Microsoft Teams, right? And so again, we're in our SAP application. We're opening Joule and we're asking that question about contact information from Microsoft. Now Joule exchanges information with Microsoft Copilot Of course, in the backend, all of the user authentication and security protocols and so on are running, right, to make sure that we can safely transmit data from one system to the other. And you can see now how it pulled back that information and gave it to me. Now, the second thing we look at now is we want to schedule an offsite for this team, right? So we're working together with this team of 4 or 5 people here. And so we want to schedule an offsite. And so again, we ask Joule to actually set up this offsite blocker for this team. And we saw just now in the team's calendar, it was all empty. That's a nice calendar, yeah. So let's see what it says. Okay, yeah, and so Microsoft Copilot now scheduled this blocker for us. So again, a simple example of how you can now seamlessly work across these systems. So see here, this is the blocker it just scheduled for all of the team members. And now let's take it up a little bit of in complexity. So what we now do is we ask Joule, can you find all of the round-trip flights for all of the team members for us to have this offsite in San Francisco? And so what we do is we use Concur, our travel expense solution, to now figure out all of these flight options, right, for each team member, and then bring all of this together and share it again via Copilot, via Teams, with everyone in a chat, right, in a group chat. So you can see here it performed this action, it figured out all of the flights, and now we share that option back in Microsoft Copilot. And so we will now jump over into Teams, and then you can see, yeah, there's some load time here, so you can see it's not fake. This is the actual dev system that we already have running that I'm sharing here. Yeah, so it's done it now, and so now you can see basically if we jump over to Microsoft Teams, you can see now how it now shared that information with all of the team members. Now, last thing I want to show you here is, of course, that works in both directions, right? So let's now jump into the Copilot in Microsoft Teams, and you can see here we've then added the plugin of Joule. You can activate in your Copilot the integration with Joule as well, and then you can now interact out of Teams or out of your Microsoft Copilot in the Office suite with all of the data and all of the information that Joule has access to from all of your SAP applications, right? And so now in this case, we're asking Copilot here, what's the budget for the 4 wheels offsite? Now we've maintained that information in our project planning in S/4HANA, and so Joule has access to that. It's pulling that data and it's sharing it with Microsoft Copilot here. And we can see that embedded. Also see the nice tile integration that we have with Joule here directly in Microsoft Copilot. So just a couple of examples of kind of how we're making that work. Now we're shipping this already now in Q4, end of this year. We're the first ones in the industry to integrate 2 Copilots, so we're super excited about that. And with that, you've seen already some examples of what we can do today. Now I want to hand it over to Mirko to walk you through a little bit what is coming, in particular with agents, and that will be super exciting for you to then also see how you can use that information for the workshop just in a minute. Right, Mirko, over to you.
Thank you, Richard. So what I want to present you is the Business Agent Foundation. This is a software, a framework, which we are very excited about. We are working on this since longer. And as we learned, agents are going to be implemented into Joule natively. These are pre-configured agents. We want to give you the opportunity to configure your agents yourself as well for your specific needs. And this is why we created this standardized framework to put a lot of development work away from you. So, what are AI agents, basically? So, in traditional software development, you can think many algorithms are working like railways. We have if, then else. If this condition is met, then do that. But AI agents are more sophisticated input-output machines, which can be in adaptive, more complex environments, develop own plans. This is a very interesting and important thing. And they have some sort of toolbox over there. And they can decide themselves which tools they pick out to solve a specific task. So this is basically the idea of agents. I will show you a video right now with a procurement task. So this is an example. Let's go.
AI agents are considered a key enabler for the vision of business automations that is driven by generative AI. In this context, agents extend classical business AI patterns such as conversational AI and predefined AI-powered processes. AI agents are based on 4 design principles. Agents empower LLMs to autonomously develop and implement comprehensive multi-step plans to accomplish a specified goal. They systematically review their own work, identifying areas for improvement to ensure the best possible outcomes. Equipped with a versatile toolkit, an agent utilizes resources such as web searches, code execution, and SAP integrations. Furthermore, harnessing the power of teamwork, multiple AI agents collaborate by dividing tasks, allowing efficient and innovative problem resolutions. To enable the efficient realization of business AI scenarios, the Business Agent Foundation on BTP provides reusable AI business agents as a service. The service provides various tools that empower agents with all the skills required to complete your enterprise tasks and understand your business context. With a simple design time configuration, every cloud developer can create large-scale AI agents that can not only answer questions about data from HANA and other databases or from documents, but that can even execute your business tasks autonomously by querying information from public sources like the internet, as well as business systems and applications. Ian, for example, is a procurement specialist who is faced with the daunting task of overseeing the procurement process for the construction project of a national high-speed railway network. Ian relies on his trusty AI business assistant to navigate the complexities of his demanding role. The agent
Okay, let's make a cut right here and go into the...
is connected to the S/4HANA system of the company and has knowledge about various business processes and their company-specific procurement guidelines. Ian opens a chat window with his AI agent, seeking guidance on the daily tasks.
Yeah, we make the cut right here, and we don't see this in video. We try to have a look on that live. So we rely a little bit on the internet connection. I hope that's fine. Yeah, we all know. I will reload the pages. So basically what's happening is there is this toolbox I told you before. And the agent I want to show you, if the page finished loading, is basically taking advantage of 3 specific tools. The first one is a document reader. So it can parse documents like PDFs. The second one is a coding tool. So he is able to code himself. Why is that? Because calculations, we all know LLMs are very bad with calculations, but they are good with code. So they can write code to resolve specific calculations. This is what they are good at. And the third thing, right here we can see it, is an OData API where it can get all the quotes from the S4 system. So basically, the chat history is loading as well. Right here, perfect. So basically, this is a history of a task which Ian used to leverage AI agents. So this AI agent, first thing was here, how many quotations have I received for my projects? These are 6 quotations. Each quotation implies up to 8 products. So this is fine. This is a pretty simple task. Every S4 system can deliver this as well. And the next thing would be, hey, which is the cheapest one? Yeah? So it's recommending here the speedy automotive. It's fine. This is also very covered by standard software. But now it gets interesting because you can tell the agent to develop a strategy because these decisions of procurement are multi-factor driven. Let's say it this way. So you don't only look at the price, you also look at the quantity, you look at delivery date, and you check out that all these factors are fitting. So one of these most cheapest quotations, for example, does not deliver all the parts. So basically what a procurement manager would have to do, he would manually make a spreadsheet, say, okay, these products are delivered by this company for this price, but then I have to make it complete with the other company, with the second best price, and so on. And now the agent can make this receival or sourcing plan strategy himself, combine each other, each factor. He can also use a negotiation strategy. So he checks up which negotiation success has been made with the specific supplier in the past. This would be one point. And he's suggesting this to Ian, to the procurement specialist. And then there, after this cherry picking strategy from each part, from each quotation, which part we want to order, you can even go further and say, hey, I need all these parts before Christmas. So it gets even more sophisticated. And then the agent is checking on the delivery dates as well, and taking all these factors to take over the work, which would be originally Ian's work, manual work, which takes a lot of hours, building spreadsheets, comparing, and so on. So let's have a look into what has the agent done. So let's have a look behind the curtains. Basically, what I told you, the first thing is planning. This is what an AI agent can do. So our agent here first delivered a plan. So I have to gather all the quotations. 2 are from PDFs. 4 are from the OData API. And then he also needs to let's go to the next one. And then he also needs to follow this plan. He builds up a process for himself. So first, I read all this up, I aggregate the information, I gather everything, I query the OData API, I identify which delivery dates are even suitable for our case, because not everyone is delivering before Christmas. He comes with the negotiation strategy and so on. So this is basically his plan. And now we go through and see the execution order. So the agent is doing this automated or in an automated fashion himself, querying everything, gathering everything. You can see here all the nodes. They are visible, all the agent steps for all the sources. For example, here he is writing a get statement for the OData endpoint. Let's go through more towards to the end. And here at the end, he is doing what he is writing. Let me go to the end. Right here, he's writing Java code. Because as I told you, agents are very bad with the large language model capability to make calculations, but they are very good at writing code. So basically, what is he doing here? He's doing all the filtering, all the constraints, until he made his final proposal, his decision, hey, you should order this part with this supplier and this part with this supplier. So, and then he gets the result out of the calculation, and then there comes a final refinement with the final answer where he's proposing this sourcing plan. So as you can see, we can now automate processes which have not been automatable before. And now we can think about how agents could help in your company, right, to solve specific tasks. So I would now hand over to Kevin again.
So,
to think about agents and how they can help in your company.
Pretty easy, right? Well, can you go to presentation mode?
Yes.
Yeah. So agents, I hope this gave you some ideas saying, hey, this might be interesting for the business that I'm supporting from IT, or you're an LOB supporter. Normally we would do a workshop like this with experienced design thinkers with a full day in your company. And when we reached out to our app house, who are basically running these sessions, they said, oh, we have a workshop in London last week and we want to do this in 20 minutes. So basically, they threw up the phone. That's not going to happen. But we sort of try to condense this workshop format in very small. So what you're today going to do is a high-pressure, let's say, design thinking concept to start thinking about AI agents. And as I said at the beginning, it's just a teaser. If you want to do this in a really detailed manner with your company, your team, we love to do that in more detail. So please take that into account. You have seen the booklets on your tables today. Those are your work booklets. I'm gonna give you a few moments to browse through them. If you've not done so, 2 or 3 minutes just to get a bit familiar with the content. But before you do this, in your booklet there is also a sort of a paper that will guide you to, in your thought process, if you would hire an assistant or an agent or a digital assistant to do one particular simple job for one of your colleagues. Could be any one of these 4 colleagues. You can pick one of these people at your table that you say, hey, these are the people that I feel comfortable with, sort of putting myself in his position. Think about, this persona that you want to pick as a group. HR, head of sales, finance, procurement, could also be another one. And just start discussing, saying, hey, what is a typical challenge of this person, and how could a digital assistant, an agent, simplify his life of automating that particular job so that he has time to spend more of his valuable time thinking about the complex tasks. And that this framework that you have on the table, each of you is in front of you. We would like you to discuss which persona you want to focus on, maybe have, and then say, hey, let's focus on, and there's typically always a bit of a group where that automatically stands up. You have a discussion about this, you have brainstorm on the table, and as soon as you have an idea and you have a persona, and you think, hey, it's now, what are the skills that these guys, what's the job description? You just walk you through this template. We have colleagues walking around in the room to help you a bit, but you will go to one of the whiteboards and you start using these sticky notes, just to sort of fill in this template all together as a group process. You'll get about 20-25 minutes for that, but we will also sort of keep time to sort of make sure that you sort of progress a bit. As I said, I have Mirko, Richard, Manzar, Niels, Habib, and Anthony, and myself walking across the tables just to coach you a bit through the process. There's also an example in the booklet, if you want to look at it, of a previous template that's been filled out. I will leave this on the screen if you want to walk up to it, and study that in a bit more detail. That's also okay, of course. All right, tables. Get to work. We have ended the design thinking part. How was that for you? Was that good? It's pretty impressive, huh? So you suddenly became a company, was formed 20 minutes ago, and I think it's super cool to see in 2-3 minutes we as industry professionals are working with each other. So I think it's a really great thing that I saw here. We did a similar thing last week in London, but I think this one is even better in terms of collaboration. So I think from our team to you, thank you for doing this. And this is exactly what we hope when you go back to your companies, that you will say, hey, let's have a round table session. Let's start to think through what capabilities these new technologies will give our company. It's all about that, getting different type of people from different type of LOBs on the table, from IT, and think through these amazing ideas. And we already saw a few amazing ideas on the boards in that 20 minutes. Can you imagine if we do a full-blown workshop for half a day or full day, what creativity would then suddenly arise with your own colleagues who know your own business, of course, far better that you know that you're today together with, know each other. We would like 1 or 2 tables to maybe share out one of the 2 ideas that have been created. Who feels, oh, I already see your hand there and there, so there's already 2. Who would like to sort of share out what the idea was? Okay. Okay. Maybe a quick introduction who you are, which company?
Sure. My name is Bhuvan Pawar. I'm Chief Digital Officer for Asahi Europe, an international beverage company. We brew beer, alcoholic and non-alcoholic. We're also moving to S4HANA, but I'm not sure about rice. But that's a discussion for later time. So out of the 4 personas, we decided to choose procurement, but eventually, you can have a golden thread that can go across all the personas, and it can interact with multiple SAP systems like SuccessFactors, Ariba, SAP, and others as well. We chose procurement assistant here to help our procurement team to build proposals for them for suppliers, which are available already in our Ariba system. So basically, let's say if someone wants to buy laptops, they can go and look for the suppliers which are selling us the laptops listed in our Ariba system. And at the same time can do the same research for the laptop suppliers through the Copilot or Bing chat and tell us also other suppliers, potential suppliers. And then it will also rank the suppliers with number of criterias. Criterias we decide were payment terms, for an example. So how much of the payment terms we have with our external or internal suppliers, that would make a big difference on the P&L for CFO for sure. And then as well as for corporate affairs, sustainability scores. Because you and us and everyone here in this room would like to contribute to sustainability, would like to work with a partner who is sustainable. Then we said, okay, this is enough. Then we like you to also design the RFI, go to the Word document, design an RFI, that what are the requirements we have for laptops, how much of a hard drive, RAM, AI-driven Dell laptops you need, and then basically send an email back to the suppliers on their email addresses, taken from Ariba again, then get back the quotation from them, compare all the quotation, tell you, give or ranking them all the suppliers, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And eventually, set up the meetings with the suppliers for having the meetings with them in person or on Microsoft Teams. Record the Microsoft Teams and basically give you the conclusion at the end as a summary. Okay, this supplier was not the best and the best. And then basically help you making the decisions. So these are the steps that we expect. We like our assistant procurement to access Ariba, SAP, Office 365, Outlook, external systems, ESG scores, and then also have skills like being analytical, also able to translate the languages because suppliers listed we have may not send us the quotations in English, maybe they send in Polish, Czech, Romanian, Hungarian, whatever. Should be able to translate, should be able to summarize it, and then the style we expect is should be able to create innovation, like should really go beyond what we're asking. And we believe that some of the success criteria is that speed to market, the information should be accurate or should continue to become accurate. And also the commercial side, the tokenization should become lower and lower. Not you guys happy, I know, yeah. But we should have low cost to, let's say, operation, yeah, not high cost. That's kind of the summary of what we thought of procurement assistant. But
maybe
feel free to add.
No. Well, I would like maybe a quick feedback from our.
Yeah, maybe I can take a start. I mean, what you described, right? ESG scoring, right? Picking out the right suppliers, all of these capabilities. Most of them we're already building into the product. What we haven't done yet is bring them together in an agent. And I think what you're describing, that vision of like, we have an agent and then it has access to all of that data, it has access to all of these capabilities, that's exactly in line with what we're trying to achieve. So a really good confirmation as well in like, how can we bring that together and what does that type of agent look like, a business agent? Of course, then in the cloud that we want to build as a standard solution, right? But also as part of the agent builder, right? Where you can then build this yourself on BTP, bring in your own data, bring your own content in, right? So yeah, super exciting. Yeah.
You can also go to the finance system and figure out what was the budget for the laptops for the year.
Yeah.
Basically figure this information out, prepare the CFO and say, okay, this is your budget, this is the report, can you make the decision?
Exactly.
Basically, you can go also cross-function, not just
yeah.
Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Okay.
This is an awesome case, a very complex one, with a lot of manual work to be automated. And yeah, maybe we put this one on our roadmap as well. Thank you.
All right, maybe one more. Good applause. I saw a hand of somebody that wanted to share out here, right? Don't know. Yep. I can. make it a bit tougher for you. I'm going to give you 2 minutes.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Bart Grootveld. I work at AFA Software, which is one of the most important competitors for SAP. So we came up with two assistants, HireBot and FireBot, and I want to focus on the first one. So it's going to help the HR manager hire the right applicant. So the most important part is that it has to generate job descriptions based on, of course, the opening that's there. And then it has to identify high potentials on the applications that come in. So it has to compare the competencies of the people that are already there based on available talent management, for example, and then make a good match with applicants that are new. It then has to evaluate the applications, of course, make a nice short list of the people that are most likely to match with the company. It has to be completely unbiased, which is, of course, very important because I think Amazon once made like a big misstep on that part. In trust and control, like the full control would be like a short list of candidates. So it has like full automation on selecting the candidates and rejecting applications. And the least control is like making a final offer without just suggesting it to the HR manager what could be like a potential candidate. Is there something important I missed? That's about sums it up. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Keep it simple.
Great.
that's
Thank
great. Yeah. Now
30,
I have only
30-second feedback.
Yeah, maybe we have to be a little bit careful now in how I respond to with the competition going on. Yeah, but job description generation live in SuccessFactors, applicant screening live in SuccessFactors, all of the capabilities individually you put, they're all there. What is not there is generating these offers, right? So the last step that you described, and again, similar to the story before, making that an agent, right? Like an iron bot where it goes through each of these cases. But I can tell you already, we have it already on the roadmap for next year, so we're bringing all of these capabilities together in that chain exactly like you described it. What we're not doing is, we're not doing a firing bot, right? So that would not pass our ethics council, so it's only hiring. Yeah. Of course, of course.
I think enterprise software company is building agents right now.
Cool. Cool.
Yeah, so great. And the agentic mindset, when I was visiting your table, was also if you look at each CV as a complex environment and each individual having or getting own questions, you suggested 5 questions, 5 individual questions. This is the agentic mindset, which is correct. So you have this complex environments, right, and with complex outputs, and things are adaptive. This is also the case. So each applicant is different. There is no standard form. You can rely on with a standardized deterministic algorithm, and then LLM's strengths come into play right here. So great thoughts on this table.
Okay, thank you. Okay, well, there needs to be a winner. So, and the winner will be decided by all of us. So, we're going to decide the winner based on the amount of applause. So, I would like to have applause for table number 1. All right, table number 2.
Oh, helping a little.
It feels a bit like an unsporty table.
It's a little bit biased, guys.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm gonna reward it. That's right, because if I'm gonna reward my competitor, no, great job. Thank you, guys. All right, your prize is, if you already did not get one for us or secretly stole from my booth without asking, we have water bottles for you there. So hang on before you go. We're at the end of this, let's say, workshop. We enjoyed it. We hope you enjoyed it as well, and you learned something, and you learned from each other. We would love with you guys to interact, in a more detailed and one-to-one workshop, the enablements. Before you go, we would also like to get some feedback on this session. So if you take 2 post-its, what you like and what you wish, and stick them on the door. And we will basically take that feedback, to make these cyber sessions better. I like and I wish. And thank you very much.